Hi folks, welcome back. It's Wednesday, early finish at work today, and so I've popped down to the plot as usual to do some picking for tea this evening. And as you can see, I've got two beautiful heads of broccoli, some carrot thinnings, some burpees golden beetroot, two courgettes, some outsized spring onions, raspberries, and the first tomatoes of the season. Now the tomatoes, the red ones at least, they're the red alert from the two potted plants at either side of the bench by the stable. They're not quite red, not fully ripe, but they came off very, very easily in my hand, and they're clearly ripe enough for the birds because they've helped themselves to one or two, so I took them off a little bit early. The carrots, they're the first carrots of the season, thinnings really, but they're okay, they'll do for a meal tonight. But that bed has not had enough water, so I need to start and water that more consistently. The spring onions, well, there are actually lots of that size, they're quite big, but we just couldn't get through them quickly enough, but they're still fantastic in cooking. Mentioned the beetroot in the last update. These are an easier to manage crop as well. The burpees golden taste fantastic, but they don't grow as quick and as prolifically as the bolt hardy or some of the other varieties of red or purple beetroots. So it does allow you to take them and not worry about them getting too big. There are dozens more growing on, so we should have those all the way through the season. Broccoli heads, well, they're amazing. I think this is about 9 we've taken now. And they're really, really dense, and they taste really nice, you know, if you don't overcook them. So yeah, Mother Nature has come up with the goods again, despite the continuing lack of rain. The green courgettes, they're quite easy to manage as well, because they're not as prolific as the yellow ones. I've probably had about 10 of those off, but I've had dozens of the yellow ones. And I'll show you one of the yellow ones now. This is just one of 5 of the yellow courgette plants that we've got, and as you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on there, and they're up, well, 4 of the 5 are of a size that's ready to take. The other plants I've been picking regularly, so this one here has got a couple of small ones on down at the bottom there, but I've picked the big ones off. There's a couple around the back, you can just see that. Next plant, again, another 2 or 3 that are ready to pick. Same story here with this plant, big one there, big one down at the back there, you can't quite see it, but it's there. Next plant, same story again, 2 or 3 just about ready. There's probably about 8 or 9 ready to take, and the same number growing on. They'll be ready in a couple of days. I've got about half a dozen on the windowsill at home. I'm planning to eat a couple tonight along with these green ones, and I'll give some away. 9 plants is quite a lot, but they are lovely, they taste great. So and they add a little bit of colour to your cooking as well. So I'm going to do a little bit of watering now and a bit of sweeping up, because the birds love worming on our no-dig beds and borders, and the looser manure, the fresher manure that's sat on top as a mulch, tends to get strewn across the paths, and they need a sweep every day. So one more chore, but having said that, nothing really in the way of weeds. So the no-dig allotment is doing really well. Just turn around briefly and show you. The grass is parched, and everything's growing on really, really well. The sweet corn is 5 foot high. Carrots need watering, as I say, as do the banana shallots. Kohlrabi at the bottom, they're doing great, and more of the lovely broccoli heads here. About 3 ready to take now, that's nearly 4, and 4 that are just getting started. Right, I'm going to get on with the sweeping up, and I'll catch you later in the week. Cheers. Morning everyone. Well, the weather's working its magic, and the garden and the greenhouses now are starting to colour up a little bit. You can see the flowers there on the flower bed outside on the third plot, and in the greenhouse that houses the cherry tomatoes we've also got some of the sun golds starting to turn golden as well. And I think I've got about 4 of these in this greenhouse, and probably another 4 Zakura red cherries, some baby and some black cherries as well. And these ones here are not quite ready. I would say tomorrow I'll be able to pick a bowl full. There are some just to the side of me as well, just down here, so they look quite promising. No work for me today. I've got to pop over to Manchester with my wife and eldest daughter. Our Ellie's graduating today in Manchester. Did a French and German degree, double honours, and she gets a certificate this afternoon. So no work today, just a little bit of watering, and I'll maybe pop back later in the day and do a little bit. We'll see what time we get back. It's going to be a long day. Catch you later. Hi everyone, Friday evening, the 14th of July, and I'm just about to call it a day. We had the first shower today in about 9 weeks. Didn't amount to very much, it was very light, wet the ground, but it looks like we might be in for another one. I think this weather's just passing, but if it wets the ground, soaks in a little bit, then that'll be more than welcome. But I've finished this evening off, and I think I'll finish off this upload with a view of tonight's harvest. And I've taken another 5 punnets of currants and raspberries. One of the punnets actually is more like a double one. I'm not going to lift it up, but it's about 5 inch deep. And I think that takes the count to about 25 punnets of gooseberries and currants, probably about a dozen of summer raspberries, and I'm barely halfway through the currants. How much of it I'm going to be able to get off and process, I don't know. My cousin's going to take some tomorrow. Gooseberries as well, but I think we've about 7 or 8 plants, and I've only gone through about 3. But they're lovely, so I'm going to try and get off as many as I can. I might do another couple of pickings over the weekend. Whew. And prickled as ever getting those gooseberries. But I'm off for home now. Hope you've had a decent week, and hope you make the most of the weekend to come. Catch you later. All the best.